that. I'm going to record to the physical, and then once it's downloaded to my computer, I will upload it to my YouTube channel. So, okay, Jenny Lynn. Have you done much tarot? Do you have any decks of your own?
Oh, I have multiple. Alaya has multiple. But I feel like sometimes even when you pull your own, it's like I can't, I'm mired in the situation, you know? And
Right.
I don't always, and as I don't always get as much clarity as I would like. And so that's when I'm like, I would like to have somebody else read for me.
Pull the cards, right? No, I get
Yeah.
that. I was actually thinking about, well, I don't know how popular it'd be, so I don't know if I could get any business to let me do it, but doing like maybe like a monthly meetup somewhere, like at South Maui Gardens or at a coffee shop or something, and like everyone bring your own deck, and we will all do the same spread, and we'll go through, and each person will talk with the group about what the card in that position means to them, and
That would be really rad.
that way if anyone has any issues or like feels like they can't like comprehend what the meaning's supposed to be, they could be like, well, I'm open to interpretation if anyone has like some words of wisdom for me, right? And that way, if anyone gets stuck, you have a whole group there to help you
I would do that.
follow
That
it.
sounds awesome.
Mhm. Okay. That's right. I haven't done reversals in this deck, so no reversals for this reading apparently. That's okay. So let's start with the center. This is uh the heart of the matter, right? And we get the Sire of Swords, which is the King of Swords, basically. So I feel like it's you are taking control of the way you communicate, the way you think, and your path in life is what's happening here. Like you're just like you're done with the bullshit. You're taking that sort of truth and cutting away the crap that just doesn't do it for you anymore, right? So the Five of Wands, Ten of Swords,
The
Five of
Five of Wands keeps coming up for me a lot lately.
the Empress. Okay.
And so does the Empress.
So when it's interesting because you got the Five of Wands here and the Five of Pentacles here. Um, you're like encircled by that five energy, and then on top you got a 10. So I read it as a like a line this way, right?
Okay.
So we start with the Five of Wands, which is, internal conflict. It can be, I mean, it could be external conflict too, but it's like fighting for your passion. Which passion is the one that's going to win? And it could be, your passion against someone else's passion or internal passions that like are vying for your attention. At the same time, though, you're dealing with this Ten of Swords energy where you're just feeling like you're done, you're defeated, and you're ready to take those damn swords out of your back so you can get up and move on. Right? You're ready for that rebirth.
Yeah, very much so.
Right? At the same time, you're feeling a little black, right? Feeling like, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I can keep a roof over my head. Because at the same time, you're having that mother energy, the Empress, right? So that motherly energy is really kind of stepping in a big way, and you want to make sure that you can take care of your loved ones, but don't forget you also need to nourish and take care of yourself too. Then I do the four corners like another message here. Have strength coming out with the hanged dragon. Right? And then the Ace of Cups with the Three of Wands. Okay. So obviously you're with all these majors popping up here, you're going through a huge life change. It's like you're going from one chapter to the next.
Yeah.
Um, you're finding your inner strength is coming from a new way of looking at things, right? You're getting these new perspectives, new visions of the future, and in it you rely on your inner strength instead of listening to the outside, right? And that's where this Ace of Cups comes in. You're learning to listen to your intuition. You're learning to listen to your all your senses, right? Um, you're learning to tap into your emotions. And with the Three of Wands coming up here as the last card, it's showing that you know, you've set out the Two of Wands and Three of Wands is very similar for me, and I'm getting more Two of Wands energy from this Three of Wands. So it's like you're planning, you're setting out your feelers, and here with the Three of Wands energy, it's like you've already set out all those feelers, and now you're waiting to see what ships come back, right? And what your investments have become. So this, I think yeah, I mean, you're moving on. I think in the long run, it's going to be good. It's going to be a little bit of a struggle. And the bottom of the deck, I always look at the bottom of the deck for the shadow energy, the energy that you're not necessarily paying attention to. And we have the Fool, another major. So this is all about taking that leap of faith, knowing that, yeah, you might struggle a little in the beginning, but by constantly putting out those feelers, putting out um, contracts and partnerships and ways of getting yourself to the next level, I think that's what you're going to be focused on. But you're going to definitely need a change of perspective. I'm going to pull out the Oracle cards just as a nice little clarifier for each position. Do you have any questions so far?
No, this has been like dead on. It's so wild because like even it's like I've learned to recognize all the toxicity around me and I'm just walking. It's not that I'm walking away from it, it's that I've willed the universe to take me away from it.
Right.
Because
That's
I'm like, I don't want to walk away from it because I'm a person that never gives up and doesn't lose hope. But I have repeatedly for the last like 4 to 5 months asked the universe to take away from me what's not best and right for me,
right.
even if it meant that it would be really hard for a little bit. And that's 100% what's been happening. And I think that's why I haven't gone into a complete downward spiral and like
Mm-hmm.
completely lost my mind with the dismantling of my life because I do live in the knowing that the better is on the horizon.
Right. Well, and there's no tower, there's no death, none of those like sudden changes. So this is definitely like you have decided to nourish yourself,
Yeah.
become that mother goddess that nourishes from the inside. And you're just like anything that doesn't nourish, you're done with.
I literally said that earlier today. I was like, I'm just done. I don't care who you are, how long I've known you, who you are in my life. Like, I'm done with all toxicity. If you don't bring good things into mine and Alaya's world, like, you're no longer welcome there.
So that Sire of Swords is perfectly paired with seek knowledge, right? So that Sire of Swords with the seek knowledge, definitely you're learning new ways of being, basically. And
Yeah.
and that I think that's another reason why there's a little bit of that conflict because you're trying to figure out what's going on, what's happening, what's the right way to go. And you're just being told, listen to your inspiration, right? Stop listening to all the passions because you're going to have so many passions that like burst into flame and then die out, right? But what is it that inspires you? That's the thing to focus on instead of the passions. The passions will come and go, they'll take care of themselves, right? And it's fun to indulge once in a while, but what inspires? Right? And then this 10 of swords that you're moving, you're at an end of a cycle. Now, look at that community, your tribe, right? Your coven,
Yeah. Oh,
right?
this is gonna make me cry.
You might be feeling like you're going through like a hard time, but it's just an awakening. And awakenings are always, I mean, think of the lobster having to like shed his skin. That's going to be painful, right? But there's no other way to grow, to have that awakening, to have that expansion. And, it might make you feel like you're losing it a little, right? But here on the Empress, more grass. Actually, it's kind of funny. Open your mind, right? Open your mind to ways of nourishing yourself in body, mind, and spirit, right? Strength. You get your strength from action, right? Just by instead of getting stuck in your thoughts, you just go for it. And that's how you get where you need to go, without a doubt. That new perspective, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes you need to hibernate to get a new perspective, to find that pearl of wisdom that's been missing. It's okay to chill for a little bit. That Ace of Cups, what new emotions? Listening to yourself, right? Instead of always trying to please others.
Yeah.
Time to be done with that shit. Listen to yourself. Listen to what inspires you. Listen to where your heart is leading. Because following your bliss can never be a bad thing, in my opinion, anyway. And what's that? Three of Wands? Guidance. Right? And you notice there's three stars shining, and the wands are all about fire. So listen to that inner guidance, right? Listen to the guidance of your inner knowing and your spirit guides, of course. What is the shadow energy of the reading here? Don't forget to play while you're doing all this shit, right?
I needed to hear that.
Right? You need to play in order to heal.
Yeah. You're right.
I mean,
You
yeah,
are.
it's the process you're going through is going to be hard. I mean, awakenings are always painful, but do you really want to stay stuck in that too tight of a shell? I mean,
No.
right? And sometimes playing, you get to wiggle a little, and that makes that shell come off so much easier. Don't forget to have fun.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Of course. So we got a little bit of time. Uh, is there anything else you'd like to read?
No, this kind of just solidifies everything I've been feeling
Mhm.
and like, the work that I've been doing on my own because it is, I mean, it's really terrifying to be in this place in my life right now.
Mhm. Right. Seek knowledge so that you don't have to be in this position again.
And I feel like this was the last cycle that I had to close out
Mhm.
because like even with my work situation, like my boss was very much like my father, who I don't have any contact with anymore, was very toxic. And it's like I got rid of that and then I went home and I was in like an equally toxic situation. And the way that my partner handled his emotions was very much the way that my father handled it. And I just kept hearing my like guides and my inner voice go, this is not meant for you. You have to walk away from this.
Right. Well, and even here, right? If the conflict is not bringing inspiration, what's it doing to you? Right?
Just breaks me down and it breaks Alaya
Right.
down. And honestly, she's the biggest reason why I was like, take me out of these situations. It's
Right.
terrifying and it's scary, but I know eventually it'll be okay and I'll be fine and she'll be fine. But I don't want her growing up in a situation that I've put her in, like I grew up in because my mother put me in that situation and didn't take me out of it.
Right. Well, and I think that's what this is your fears.
Yeah.
That final, it's that last straw that broke the camel's back, and you're just like, you're ready to shed those swords, get up, and be born again in a community that supports you versus one that will just continue to stab you in the back, right?
Yeah. And that was Halloween, was it? That was my like straw that broke the camel's back.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I'm just done here. Like I'm not doing this anymore.
Right. And so you're dealing with this whole like feeling of lack, but you know the only way through is to go through.
Yeah.
So it's an awakening in a big way. I keep getting that here. It's like this this cycle you're going through, this ending of a cycle, really, with that Ten of Swords. Yeah, it feels like you're lacking, but what's really happening is you're making space for something to grow, something else to be there, right? And you
Yeah.
might have a little bit of a lack at the beginning, but as long as you continue just to let it expand, right? Open your mind to that idea.
No, I know you're right. I feel it. Like
And
I
you can
feel it.
nourish, and then you
I
have the
think I
whole
just needed
world.
the reassurance.
Right. No, I totally get that. I totally get that. Right. I mean, part of it too is you're very good at taking action. That's where your strength is.
Yeah. And that's also very true.
And to do that, I mean, it takes a lot of power, a lot of strength to do it. And you're able to also know when it, like, look, hibernation with the hanged man. It's like both of them are hanging upside down, right? You know when to stop, take a break, and change your perspective on the situation.
Oh,
Finally,
for sure.
right? So that, I think that with the action is like you know when to take action and when to stop, pause, and really listen. I mean, the next one up is what? Listen to self with the Ace of Cups, which is like all about emotion. It's like you're finally listening to your heart and letting your
Yeah.
heart be your guide instead of what everyone else has been feeding you with those swords, right? The swords are thoughts, are ways of communicating and everything. And to have that King of Swords there is like you're finally like, okay, I'm pulling these swords out and I'm gonna make them my bitch. Right? I'm gonna take those swords, I'm gonna use them as guidance and really create the life that is good for me and my daughter, right?
Yeah.
And in a way that stokes the passions without the conflict.
No, you're right.
So,
100%.
mhm. So, and let's look what's at the bottom here. We got the fool with play. So it's like, yeah, sometimes you need to act the fool, and it's okay. Whatever, you're just playing. If anyone has issues, let them have issues. Other people's opinions of you are none of your business. Right?
You're very, very right.
So, oh my God, that is so funny. Look what's underneath. We got the sun with a very like sun-like dragon here. We got the sun, which is all about happiness and fortitude. In order to get to your happiness, you have to have the fortitude to deal with, you know, the burn. So, but I mean, I think overall, if you remember to play, that burn's not so bad.
No, you can't see that I'm like silently laughing because you're right.
uh, so yeah, I feel like we've pretty much covered everything that this spread wanted to. I mean, there's more layers I could peel back if you want. Um, but do you have any questions?
No, I like I said, I think this was just like the reassurance that I needed that I'm making the right choices and headed in the right direction. And I just need to
Oh,
stop second
definitely.
guessing myself. And I need to stop feeling guilty for, or like I let down my partner or my old boss because I chose to take care of myself and Alaya instead of staying in the toxicity. It's like,
Right. Well, and that's what these are, the shadow is the
yeah,
is that energy that's there that you're ignoring but needs to be acknowledged. And that's that like taking the leap of faith and just know that life's a game, right? Let's just
yeah.
let's get back to play. We don't play enough, especially adults.
Oh, no, we don't at all.
No, we got too much on our plates because that's what how society has set it up, right? If we don't go, go, go all day long, 7 days a week, then we're gonna fall behind, right? Indentured servitude permanently.
No, thank you. I'm not doing that.
Right. Let's be done with that shit. Like it's time to move on, time to have the wake. I think also this awakening here, I think it's interesting because I feel like a lot of people are having personal awakenings at the same time that we're having a like consciousness awakening, like the world awakening,
Totally.
right?
Totally.
Mhm.
I agree with that. Absolutely.
And here in the future slot, right, we got to listen to self awakening and hibernation. So it's like we got to hibernate to have that awakening, right? And while we're hibernating, we might as well listen to ourselves, listen to that inner wisdom that we were born with. So it's that time. It's time for community to come together, right? Seek that knowledge, open your mind,
It's wild when you're walking out of the 3D and into the 5D.
right? Right. I mean, a lot of us are gonna be. I think I keep getting this like time to rest. Like when I did art mix, certain cards just kept popping up, popping up, popping up, popping up, like for almost everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the biggest message I got for pretty much everyone was it's time to let go of the shit that doesn't work anymore, rest
Yeah.
and figure out what it is that you actually like. Who are you before society told you who to be?
I feel like for the last, like, probably, well, honestly, since Elia's been born, I've been doing this dismantling of all that I thought that I was and how, and even specifically, like, moving out here, it started. But once I had her, so for the last like 9 years, I've really been in this place of slowly dismantling. And I feel like now I'm just closing out the chapter and being comfortable and just being who I am,
Right.
and not worrying about if people think I'm weird or if they think it's odd or whatever, and that it's just okay for me to be who I've always been, but covered up because I was told that I had to.
Right. Which I think that's the big universal thing that's happening is people are like stripping back the illusions and being like, okay, I'm sorry, this is who I am. Take me or leave me.
Yeah, for sure.
I've seen that with so many people lately. So, and they're just like, they're done wearing the damn masks that society says everyone has to wear.
Yeah, I'm really over that. And I'm really ready to just continue to build a business and a life on my own. And,
Find that
you know,
community.
yeah. And it's important to me to show that to Alaya. It's like I try to raise her so much differently than how I was raised, as far as like, she's very intuitive and artsy and amazing. And I just, rather than try and dampen it, I just encourage it. I'm like,
Mhm.
it's okay for you to be who you are. I don't want you to grow up thinking that you have to be something you're not.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's what I'm very thankful. Yeah, even though my parents got divorced when I was 3, I'm very thankful that my mom raised me because she never squashed that. She always told me to listen to my dreams, to listen to my intuition. Like
Yeah.
she always encouraged it, even when
It's
like
so
other
important.
parents would be like berating me for believing in like gnomes and fairies and elves and stuff. Right? My mom would jump in and be like, "They're real. Just because you can't see them doesn't mean they're not real."
That's the one thing I say to Alaya. She'll ask me if something is real or not, and I always tell her everything's real if you believe it.
Yep. Yep. And
Every
So,
Like, I mean, it's not, it's true.
yes, I agree. Oh, this has been a great read.
Thank
Thank
you so much, Jonathan. I needed this. I appreciate it.
Of course. Yeah. I mean, that's why I do this. It's like all my life, people have like come up to me randomly telling me their like issues, and then like, why did I tell you that? I've never told anyone that. And I'm like, well, maybe I should be the one that everyone talks to. So here
Yeah,
I am.
I get it. That's a familiar feeling for me as well. I would be like, why do I feel so comfortable talking to you? And I'm like, but you're very empathetic. You're a non-judgmental, very empathetic person, and your energy exudes that. So I think it's amazing that you're able to be that.
Yes. It's just like I said, my mom encouraged it in me. So I just became who I was always meant to be. I mean, sure, society kind of got in the way, especially in my 20s, and
Well, as it does.
as it does, right? Especially at college when you're like judged constantly by who you hang with and what classes you're taking, your major, and blah, blah, blah. Which, by the way, my major, I haven't, like, what the hell have I used my bachelor's in anthropology for?
I have 3 college degrees and I don't use any of them.
But
None of them are in hospitality, I'll tell you that much.
yeah, I was supposed to have a history anthropology double major, but history department screwed me over. That's funny that history department screwed me over. Um, so
Sounds
I
about right.
graduated with a degree in anthropology and then went on and got a master's in traditional Chinese medicine.
That's rad, though. I love that. I didn't
Oh
know you
my
had your
God.
master's in that.
Look what comes up after I'm done shuffling. We got justice with service. Uh, That's why we do service, because we're trying to find the balance, right?
Yeah,
We're trying to help the world find its balance since it's so off kilter.
always.
Always.
Because it's very off kilter.
Oh my God. Mhm. Okay, let me stop the recording.